What's on your mind, Karen?
Bear country.
Yeah?
Yes.
I don't think there's bears out here. Just because you've seen tracks.
Focus on that over there.
Here, we're wanting to make a little fire at night along shore, along the river, and frick, there's a bear right over there. Just spotted him.
Wow. Look at that. I got the bear spray. He was close. I saw him and then I stopped right away, grabbed Tika, and then I backed up a little bit, but he was still on the trail. So I grabbed the canister and I think Tika smelt him right away. Oh. Wow.
Yeah, back up. Would not want to meet him if we weren't in a car.
No. Not that big.
No.
You getting him?
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
He's close.
He's small.
He's cute.
Holy shit, that's awesome. Hey guys, Martyupnorth, coming to you from Alberta. It's today is October 21st. It's an early fall day here in Alberta. It's a beautiful day. It's actually nice and warm outside. I recognize I've been super busy with work and I haven't posted a lot of videos. I have a long list of videos that I want to do, so I'm just going to try and keep going and create a few more videos. The one I want to talk to you today about is bear safety. So I started a series on safety in the wilderness, and I want to talk about bear safety because it's probably the #1 topic in terms of commentary that I get from people. So I want to talk about bears. Alright, if we're going to do a video about bears, I guess we should show something about bears first of all. Now, I'm not going to apologize for this fact. This is a bear that I shot up in Fox Creek, Alberta in 1998. It's what we call a spring bear. I shot it in May. Back up north, bears are a pest. They are related to pigs and in a certain sense dogs, so they do reproduce quite easily. And back in those days, they were considered a pest, and we were allowed to shoot 4 a year because they were doing so much damage to ranchers. But so I'm not apologizing for this one. I live in Alberta, and hunting is a way of life for me. So I want to talk about this bear. Oh, there's Dexter. Hey Dexter, what do you think of that big bear? Not so sure, eh? Big Dexter. Alright. First thing here, my 2 sons are going to show the scale of this bear. So one of you guys grab him from the mouth or the front, and Ray grab him by the middle of the tail there and lift him up a bit like he was if he was...
Pick him up.
Pick him up. So...
Pull it. Your way.
There you go. So you get a sense of the size compared to my 2 sons. Ray is 11 and Patrick is 15. So a bear is a sizable animal. It is a 400 to 500 pound animal. This is what we would call a 6-foot bear, probably a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old. Now this is the front claws, and when I say it's a spring bear, it means that this is a bear that was hibernating, and so he came out of hibernation. So when they come out of hibernation, they haven't been using their claws all year long. So a bear that in the spring will have beautiful claws because they haven't been used. If you see a bear in the fall, their claws are more or less worn out. But look at the size of his paws compared to my hand. So, you know, it's a big animal, but those claws will rip through you like nothing. So now a spring bear, because he's been in hibernation all winter, is skinnier. So some guys, a fall bear will be big. And this is the rear claw, so a little more worn than the front ones here. I'm not sure why. but they can move a lot of dirt in a short period of time with those claws. And make no mistake, as big as they are, they can climb trees. Now, we all know that bears have, like dog, an amazing sense of smell. So in the valleys, I think they rely primarily on their sense of smell to find stuff. They're curious, and if they smell stuff, if they smell a dead carcass, they'll find it, berries, and they'll investigate humans. But like I said, I think they tend to want to stay away from humans in the pure wilderness. It's in the popular areas that they get accustomed to humans. They have good eyesight, but apparently they don't use their eyesight nearly as much as they use their nose. And then they got an amazing sense of hearing. So ears very similar to a dog. And in this case, because this was done by a taxidermist, the teeth in the mouth are fake, but they do have teeth similar to a dog. They are, although they're considered, some people consider them carnivores because of their teeth, but they are fundamentally omnivores. They're opportunistic. They will eat just about anything. So there you go. Just wanted to, well, and they have, actually I should talk about this. They have an amazingly thick fur and a hide that's very thick. I've butchered animals over the years, and I can tell you that trying to penetrate the hide of an animal like a bear or a moose with just a small knife is very hard. You would need to thrust it in there very hard. So that's a bear, folks.
So when it comes to bear and bear safety, it's a very common topic, and there's a lot of opinions on that. And I don't want to, and I'm not an expert on bear safety, so I'm only going to tell you some of my observations. But so here's my pack. Now, most of you know I hike. Most often I hike alone, and that's for several reasons. One reason I hike alone is because I go on long trips that people just tend to not want to be part of. Most people don't want to do 4 or 5 day trips, so I learned over the years to hike alone. But I also hike alone because I like the solitude. But the number one defense when you're in the backcountry, for safety and for bears and for other things, is absolutely if you can hike in a group, by all means hike in a group. But if you can't hike in a group and you're hiking alone, and actually some of the things I'm going to talk about apply whether you're alone or in a group. But if you, if at all possible, hike as a group. But if you can't and you're hiking alone, here's some basic precautions that you should really take. So when I hike alone now, I carry a bear spray on my hip, and you've seen in another video, and I'll show the same clip in here, that I carry the bear spray. It has to be, actually let me put the pack on. So when I hike in Canadian parks, in Canada in general, we're not allowed to be armed. So I hike and I carry a bear spray. Now, I carry it on the hip. Some people carry it attached here on their shoulder or somewhere. But the bear spray has to be handy. And you need to know how to use it. So in the video today, I'll show you how to use a bear spray. But in this case, we'll show in on the details, but in this bear spray, if a bear comes and attacks me, I need to be able to take off this safety clip real quick and immediately fire. Now, I can fire this from the hip, or I can, if I have time, you've seen in some videos, I can take it out. Now, it's attached right here to my pack. That's because things can happen where I might drop my spray. So it adds a layer of complexity to have it attached there, but I think it's something worthwhile, because if you don't have it here, it's actually surprising how many times I found canisters of bear spray in the wilderness. So people go out in the wilderness and lose their canister of bear spray. So I'll do a quick demo of that in a second. So I bring a bear spray. Now the other thing I bring is a bell, and you'll see, you'll hear people walking with these. It's a substitute for making noise. So the most common reason you're gonna get attacked by a bear, if a bear can hear you coming from a long ways away, they will generally tend to get out of your way. I don't think bears want confrontations with humans, especially not in the backcountry. And I think, and actually that's a whole topic in itself. The bears that you encounter in the near country, in the popular campgrounds, they're accustomed to people, and that's a whole different problem. But the bears that I tend to encounter way back in the wilderness, they're not accustomed to people. So, and they don't want to be confronted by us. They want to keep their distance. So what I do is, as I'm walking, if you're making noise, they'll have a chance to move away. Now, what I do with this one often, if I'm traveling with my companion, Tika, come here. Tika, get up here. Come on, girl. Up, up. One more, Tika. Tika, jump. Here's my girl. You guys have seen this pretty girl in many of my videos. She likes to hike with me. Actually, Tika's a great protection against bears and a great defense. She can smell them long in advance, and she can give me advance warning, and she can bark at them, especially if she's on a leash. But I put the bell on Tika, and even if I have the bell and I'm making noise, when I'm hiking alone, I've gotten into the habit over the years. As I'm walking, you'll hear me say, or you won't hear me because I'm alone and you won't be there. But I'll suddenly yell out. I'll just say, "Hey bear!" I'll just yell like that, and it sounds funny, but I'm walking, and every 2 or 3 minutes, for whatever reason, I'll just stop and I'll just yell at the top of my voice, "Hey bear!" So everything I'm doing is about noise to give those bears a time to know that I'm coming and get out of my way. Because the worst thing that can happen is when you stumble on a bear that hasn't heard you. So that's usually when most accidents happen in the backcountry. So I carry a spray, I got bells and ways to make noise. Don't underestimate the importance of a good walking stick. I've always walked with a walking stick. I mean, we're not allowed weapons, but you know, I don't know, it's comfortable to have, and somehow or other, if I had that and I was doing something, you know, I'm sure I'm going to get comments on this, but that's another thing to consider. Now here's a really interesting thing that I've gotten in the last little while. A company in the US sent me this thing. It's called a sound grenade, and here's how it works. So if a bear is attacking me, and I don't have time to reach for my bear spray or something like that, I can do this. Now that wow, that's annoying. Now, I haven't tested it on bears, but I kind of think it might work actually as a deterrent. Anyways, it weighs nothing, and you know, I've actually I think it would work. So I'm going to carry it with me in the wilderness. So it's a sound grenade by a company called Robocop. So they're $19.99 on Amazon. The packaging for the sound grenade, so it's called a portable SOS alarm. You pull the pin like you saw, and it just screams, and it can be used. It's safe on airports. It's allowed in parks, and they describe it as just as a warning. It's kind of like a whistle. It's something you carry on in the park or in a public place. If you're being attacked or something like that, you can bring a lot of attention by pulling this rope. Patrick, who's videotaping right now, said that this didn't sound very loud, so I'm going to pull it again and he's going to zoom in and see what it sounds. Trust me, from my point of view, it's pretty loud. Alright, I'm going to show another neat idea that of something you can do with the sound grenade. It seems a little crazy, but you know, you in theory you could. You can set up. Let's say my tent was in here inside this perimeter. So my tent is in here. Let's say you're really nervous about things visiting you in the night. So you set up a little perimeter like this.
Dad!
What?
Grandpa's calling.
Hang on, I'll call him back. or bring the phone over here. So you could set up a perimeter like this. You got your tent in there, and if somebody comes and trips your tripwire, you'd know. So it's an interesting application. I could see how somebody might want to do that. There's another device that's popular out there, but I don't use them, and those are the bear bangers. I wish I had one. I don't have one, but it's kind of like a firecracker. It's a flare that screws on the end of a pin, and then you fire it, and it shoots out a flare, and then it goes bang, and it's designed to scare the bear. But as I talked about, you're not going to have a lot of time. If you are in a bear encounter, you are not going to have a lot of time. So the bear spray is something you can reach for, maybe pull the sound grenade. I can't see myself screwing in a bear banger, and then in fact that's why I don't think a gun even is a good idea, because by the time you reach for your gun and load and do other things, you got other complications. So your bear spray is your best last resort. Nothing beats being prepared and avoiding the encounter. I just want to talk about another quick piece of gear I take with me. On the trail, I always take rope. Rope is useful for a lot of things. Usually you see me stringing it across and using it as a clothesline to dry my clothes. But a good 50 feet of rope like this could also be used to toss up in the air over a branch or something and get your bag up in between trees, or somehow. There's lots of techniques to do that. I'll need to go out into the bush someday and videotape different techniques, or I'll go through my videos and try and find a couple of videos where I might show how I hang the pack. And what I do is, when my pack is at night, when I've emptied the stuff out of it, my sleeping bag and everything else, the pack doesn't weigh much, and all that's left in there is the food. And then if you carry just one carabiner, it makes it easier to put a knot on the end of this, attach a carabiner, and several things. So I could do a video. I'll do a video just on showing how to hang the food up in the air. But you've also seen a lot of my videos in the backcountry of our national parks. They're actually well set up. There's usually tent pads where they want you to stay. There's often a latrine, a dugout latrine, and then quite often there's a fire pit, and there's often a bear pole. Sometimes there's a bear pole between two trees, and sometimes it's a more modern steel one with cables, which makes it very convenient. So I've been in situations where I can't hang my pack, and so I'll leave it somewhere away from the tent. But if I can hang the pack, why wouldn't I hang the pack?
We're gonna do it.
You know how.
It's gonna be hard on the hands, he says.
Whatever.
Hoist it up.
Up the bear pole. Yeah, just put the other one on there. Patrick, can you move a bit, please? All right.
Sausage. Hanging the tube of food.
Okay, so let's say you've done everything. You're prepared. You've studied. You're walking along the trail, and all of a sudden there's a bear, and it didn't hear you coming. So that's happened to me. Somehow or other, that bear is eating berries, or the river's nearby, and it's loud. And you walk, and you come across, and you see a bear. Well, first things first is, if you see a bear and he hasn't seen you, that's a good thing. So at that point, you might just want to prepare yourself, grab your spray and be ready, and then maybe just slowly back up. So that's the way you want to do it. Now, let's say you show up again, and there's a bear and he sees you and you see it. Now in that case, what they say is you kind of don't want to make eye contact with the bear, and you definitely do not want to run, because if you run, you might trigger a fighting instinct in that animal. He might wonder. So you see it and it's like, oh, so you don't make eye contact too much, and then you back up. Now some people advise whispering. I'm not sure why, but they say you just want to talk softly, and you just want to kind of like murmur, and you're not threatening, and I'm backing up. So that's what you want to do. So now let's talk about the worst case scenario. So worst case scenario is you stumble on a bear and that bear decides to charge you and you don't even have time to do anything. Well, this is my advice. I've never experienced that, and I'm probably sure there'll be some debate on this, but that bear is suddenly charging me. I'm going to go down right now, and I'm going to keep using my pack. I'm going to use my pack, and I'm going to just protect my head like this, and I'm going to play dead. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to hope. If he's going to swat me around or whatever, I'm just going to play dead, but I'm going to protect my neck and my head. That's all I think I can do. So I hope it doesn't get to that point, but I don't know what else to do. And if you can get loose or somehow or other, that's about it. With a pack, there's nothing else. I wouldn't bother taking the pack off or trying to run up a tree or anything like that. I'd run, I'd turn, and I'd just protect myself. So here's a bear spray. In Canada, they are controlled. You need to, you buy it. You don't need a permit, but they're not sold over the counter. You need to go to a sporting store or whatever, and you need to ask the guys, and they're under lock, and you can buy your bear spray. And it's illegal actually to use against a person in Canada. So this is considered a weapon. Now this one is expired, but I know it still works because a couple of weeks ago it was in my pack, and when I was shoving the pack in my car, there was a spray that went and just barely missed my face. And what it was the trigger guard had come off, and it accidentally squeezed and fired off. So that's the other thing. So it shows right here, slide off before use. Now the trigger guard comes off quite easily, and some people, I used to have on this one, but this one's expired, you can put a little zip tie or a little string or something so that you don't lose your your trigger guard. So you can have it attached through there and pop it off but not lose it. So first step is to take the trigger guard off. Now right now the wind is blowing this way, so if the bear was attacking me from there and I was spraying this thing, I would be taking a big risk, because not only do I have a bear coming at me, but I might actually spray this and the wind will bring it back at me. So I got a bear attacking me and I actually incapacitate myself with the bear spray. That would be really silly. So if the bear's attacking me this way, it's lousy, but I might be running across and I want to try and somehow or other get it where there's less chance of it spraying me in the face. These things are so powerful that I'm actually not going to spray it that way because I don't want to get it to hit on me, so I'm going to go downwind. So I'm going to show you what happens. So let's show you what happens. And I'm not even going to test it on anyone because this is cruel. So I got the bear spray in my hand, the bear's coming at me. Whoop. Did you see that, Patrick? It went right towards you. It's amazing. Stand behind me, watch with the wind. So now imagine, actually here, let's do this rock. Let's see how much of that bear spray I get on the rock. So when you have this bear spray, you want to be waiting almost till the last second. You don't shoot it when the bear is 20 feet away from you. It'll do nothing. It's very scary, but you need that bear right on you. So I'm standing here holding my ground. That bear's charging. I hope he does a bluff and he turns around, but if he doesn't bluff, there. So you can see 20 feet away, it hit this stuff. And let's see what that... Yeah. All right, let's do some more. I might as well finish this one. I got a couple more coming, so it's impressive that it lasted this long. So Patrick just asked how old this one is. I have no idea how old it is, but let's give it. So I got a couple of bursts. So I got a bear coming at me. Here I go. Burst number one. Oh, I'm almost out. I can feel it. Burst number two. Holy shit, I'm done. So I had 3 good bursts out of that. Yeah.
Don't taste it.
Holy shit. Wow, that is... You wouldn't want to get that in your eyes. I'll tell you right now, if you're attacked and you're going against the wind and it comes back at you, you're going to be incapacitated and you're going to be in deep trouble. So hope you appreciate this. I think this is a weapon of last resort, or not a weapon, it's a last resort. The best defense against bears is a strong offense, and I don't mean attacking them, I mean being smart about the environment, looking for signs, using your head. You know, if you walk by a carcass of an animal, get out of that area. If you walk, you've seen in some of my videos, if you walk into a berry patch and there's huge amounts of berries, get out of that area. Walk in a group, look for signs, know what a bear scat looks like on the ground, and use your head. Avoid the confrontation. That's the best thing you can do when it comes to bears. Avoid the confrontation.
So as I said at the beginning, I'm not an expert on bear safety. I think these are just my recommendations, my observations, some of the things I know. But if you want to get smarter on bear safety, watch other videos on the internet, read up on it. Just 2 book recommendations. These videos that I've been doing on outdoor survival and preparedness are inspired by Mike Nash. So this is Mike's book. Mike is an author. He's from Prince George, and he has quite a bit of experience with animals and outdoors. In fact, he's the one who convinced me to start using to wear my bear spray again. He had a friend who was killed by a grizzly, so in his book he has a whole chapter dedicated to bear safety. And another good little book that my wife got me many years ago for a Christmas present is this little book, Bear Aware by Bill Schneider. It's not very expensive. It's found in in a lot of outdoor stores. So and anything you can do to prepare yourself. So just some suggestions.
So hope you enjoyed the video on bear safety. It's not an all-encompassing review. I mean, it's a big topic. Please fire off questions. Let's get that debate going. I'm happy to answer questions. I love interacting with the viewers, and I'm not an expert. I don't know all the answers, so I'm always open to both criticisms and suggestions. So hope you enjoyed the video, folks, and see you out on the trail. Let's go, Tika. Come on. Come on, my girl. Where's the bear? Where's the bear? Where's the bear? Is there a big bear, Tika? Is there a big bear? There's no big bear. Big kisses. All right.